We're live. Hi.
Hi.
We're live again. Always with the best intros for our videos.
All
Just
the
the
best
best,
intros.
the best in the game. Just
The
we're live.
the most, bestest, goodest intros.
Yes,
Hi.
we're crypto pros. We don't do good intros. Deal with it. No, we do. Anyway, hi. We're back. TA Monday again because it's Monday, and I guess it's gonna be the same thing this time. We're gonna look back at what we predicted last week, and we're gonna see what we can predict for the next week on Bitcoin. Talk about everything that surrounds that. You know what's going on in the markets, what's not happening in the markets. We did fail to talk last time about the BlackRock ETF. What's it called? Um, well, they want one basically.
The ETF
Application.
application.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of a big deal. But it's not been approved yet, but I'm pretty sure it will. But we can get into that soon. And then we're gonna let Rob do some TA on ETH, right?
Yay.
Yeah, he's good at that, so don't worry. Right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump onto my screen here right away. There we go. This should be familiar as always to everybody who's been here before. Basically, what we predicted, I believe last week was Monday. That was right here. I don't know if that's even visible. I'll zoom in just a bit. We were on the Bollinger Band here last Monday, and we were talking about how we wanted to see it break through this trend line right here. And this, as soon as the candle started kind of peeking through here, it just bombed straight up. I was not watching it at the time, but I checked the shorter time frames, and you could see it just go. So, as predicted, good breakout. Not a huge amount of volume though, but the volume is kind of gone anyway, at least on the Binance chart. So we shouldn't think too much about that. I'll actually close the volume there. But yeah, so we had the breakout that we were hoping for, and we even broke out of the longer term trend line right here that we've kept just for the sake of it's still valid, and obviously it looks now like it's kind of bouncing on that. We'll see if it does that, because we are currently forming a kind of a bull flag. It's more visible on the 4-hourly. So I'm just going to zoom into this and just show you like that. So this would be kind of the flag formation right there. That's one of the ugliest things I've ever drawn on a chart in my life. So here's the pole, and here's the flag formation. That still looks so horrible. But yeah, you get the point. And it kind of plays into this resistance right here, which is this high right here that we kind of broke through for a while, but then failed to kind of break out of. And forming some kind of consolidation here would make that into a bull flag, and sort of an ugly one, but it's still there.
Yeah, it's got plenty of time to make itself pretty.
Yeah, it does. But then that means if that forms and that breaks where we want it to break, we have pretty much clear air. We do have one here, one resistance right here from I think it's all the way back here, and it's not very large or anything, but I feel it's you shouldn't skip over it and just not have it there just because you think it's not significant. It could be significant to others, so you should be. I'm at least ready to do something here if we do get that breakout.
Yeah.
And if it breaks through that, then it's basically just nothing until we get up here, in my opinion. We do have some wicks down here just below this fib level and a bunch of volume here, but if we break up into this, it's kind of like how we landed in this volume right here during this peak right here and kind of got stuck under it, you see. We might see that too, but honestly, this is a very nice looking trend long term. I mean, it's very much following all the steps. We've got supports here. It's just psychological support here at 20K. We had this top here, which bounced on, failed, and then used this one instead. And we're forming these bottoms like it's just textbook basically.
This is like Bitcoin does on the long term make these patterns really, really nicely because it's so small and easy to trade technically. It's just a play, especially when the volume's low and it's not really full of hype. Then it gets boring and people just play with it, and that's why the TA works, and that's why we'll keep doing it.
Yep. And maybe we're a bit nerdy, but we look at this way. At least I do. I look at this way too much.
You are a nerd.
I am a nerd, but it's helped me along the way to kind of find all these kind of steps all the way up, and we've been pretty accurate. I mean, I think it's almost 100% accuracy from us since the start of the year. Actually, I was even thinking about making a video from all the videos that we have, and every time we make a prediction and say we think we will bounce here, I'll just clip that out, make like just a 5-second thing of me saying that each week all the way up here.
I think we'll bounce here. I think this.
And it just you can see the progress and it's actually doing it. But I don't know if I want to go through 26 weeks, which is, by the way, congratulations, half year done. It's week 26.
Go us.
Go we, right? But it would be a fun video to do, and I'm seriously considering it to kind of celebrate the 6 month of TA Monday. But we'll see if I get around to do that, because I have to download everything and watch through every single video again and just edit. We'll see. No promises. But yeah, if we do break through here, then it's clear air up until I think it's 36.3 approximately.
Yeah,
that area right here, and I feel like that's possible. However, we just discussed before we started here, and actually I want to do something first. I want to remove these 2 trend lines because I feel like we don't really need those anymore. That trend is broken. Just clear out the chart a little bit. But we did actually discuss here that we're looking at a possible double top, and this is not something that is either confirmed or like it's about as confirmed as this breakout right now. So we have a top right here. We are currently kind of stuck under that, which is kind of forming the start of a double top. And a double top is basically just 2 tops at the same price where you have, or almost the same price, where you have a downturn between them, not a major one, but a fairly significant one. And then, you have a failed support. And when the support breaks, and I would say that would be not here, that would be somewhere around here or maybe down here again at the fib level. Because if we break this fib level that we talked about last time we went to it, if we would have broken that and failed that, we would have gone at least down to 21K, in my opinion. And that's just an opinion. But we bounced. But if we do see this trend break here, we would see something like coming down to this one, and if that fails, then that kind of for me confirms that double top. And at that point, we're probably going somewhere like this, not straight down like that, obviously, but that would be my target at that point. If I'm a bit bearish in that sense, but honestly,
super bear.
Things are not looking great in the overall market currently as it stands. And things I think, Rob, you've been talking about how there's something's going to break eventually.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if this is the start of it, but if this starts to break now, we get that confirmation.
Well, in terms of, we can have a little move into what's going to break if you want.
Yeah.
And then see, we can kind of get an idea of the fact that it's going to break. We know it's going to break, but we don't know when. And if you look, at what we have, what you just had on screen there was a clear uptrend whilst people are waiting for things to break. And this is that, go against the idea of going against the overall sentiment, which is it was an objectively good decision to purchase Bitcoin under $20,000. Now, there was there was a lot of people going, oh no, but the economy's going to fall to bits and it's going to break. And it's like, yeah, okay, it was still a good decision to buy it. And when things break, well, what if Bitcoin's back at 60,000 when it does, and it has an absolutely horrific crash? back to $36,000, and you still end up buying higher. You don't end up nailing the bottom anyway, so you end up buying in at 40, 45, all because you were going, oh, things are going to crash and things are going to fall to bits. So it kind of doesn't matter in that when the bearish period and the cautious period was a few months ago, and now, yes, there's we've spent most of the year looking like shit and trading like shit, either sideways or downwards, and it's been these very fast, very quick rallies upwards, and so we should kind of learn from that and see that the move's going to be fast. You are not going to catch the rally upwards, and I don't see why this is surprising, because Bitcoin's always done this, and it's always had moves of this sort of magnitude or bigger magnitude than this. This is still quite a tame rally if you compare it to, say, 2019.
Yeah.
But 2019 had a euphoric mini blow off top, and then it traded sideways for over a year, a year and a half nearly, and within that there was a catastrophic drop during which Bitcoin didn't go and make a cycle low. So you can see it right there.
It is
exactly.
That's the rally, and then we have the sideways right here.
Yeah, and within that you had the COVID crash, and I don't see why we should expect anything similar if we have a global sort of unwind. What's going to happen. Everything's going to crash at once. There's going to be a complete blowout of any liquidity or any ability of the market to prop itself up. The government are going to step in. They're going to start a stimulus package. They'll lower interest rates, and the party starts again. We know that's what they'll do, because they have to do it, because actually they need to do it one way or another. And it's going to happen. So within the realms of that, just be patient, accept the volatility. I would even I would be cautious. I wouldn't be cautious about buying here if you're not a very long-term trader, because there's a very real chance that if Bitcoin could the things could drop and Bitcoin spends a year below this level. That's very possible. I don't think it will, but it's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But so if you have a long-term mindset, fine, just DCA and buy and forget. But it's dicey here, because we've seen this behavior, and we've seen that within these big rallies there are big, horrible, nasty drops. So just wait for a drop. It's coming.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said there. Like it's one of those things where you and I work so well together, because everything you say makes sense to me, and hopefully everything I say makes sense to you in some capacity, and then we tend to kind of just punch each other in the face for a while and just come up with weird arguments against each other until we figure out the best way to to think as a collective. That's why you should join the Discord, everybody, by the way. But yes, you're absolutely right. And even let's be real here. Like, even if this is a rally and we come down, and I genuinely don't see us going below where we would get stuck in this range again, in my opinion, because even if we were to dump, I don't think we would see a new low or anything, because we kept talking about
that. I just don't see us coming back to that price now.
No,
and,
because
we've had the chance for it to happen, and you're saying barring something like if Binance was insolvent and Binance did an FTX, oh yes, we're going much lower than that.
Yes, that is a massive black swan. But like, keep in mind, everybody, like this drop right here, this little red candle right here, these 2 or 3 candles in a row, that's when banks crashed. That was bank runs, and
small
massive
banks.
banks.
That was small bank run. Wait till big bank run though.
Yeah, right. But you see, like, that's a massive black swan, right? And it just went, oh, okay, it broke the super trend for a couple of days and came right back.
But that's it. The reason why it bounced right back is because the Fed or the government immediately stepped in with 208 billion of stimulus. Yes, so that that is obviously a very bullish event
Mhm.
in saying, like, this is here. We are here to support the market. We are going to back you up if these banks fail. All
Mhm.
right, cool, sweet. No more bank failures ever. Let's go. And so yeah, we pumped high off those lows. If they hadn't have come in with that stimulus, that could have caused an unwind of other banks and a bigger drop. And then at that moment in time, we could have gone lower.
Yep.
It is possible we go lower if the government decides to go, oh yeah, everyone's mortgages are like screwed. Doesn't matter. You're all on your own.
Yep.
But then if that happens, then Bitcoin's probably the least of your worries.
Yep.
Because you probably need to start looking for another job.
Yeah. And
So
or an extra job just to be able to
an
pay
extra
your
job,
mortgage. Honestly, like I know a bunch of people already. Like I'm in Sweden, everybody knows. There's no secret there, but like retail sales in Sweden have dropped by almost 45%, right? Since kind of the downtrend started. 45% in retail sales is very bad. It's the biggest drop in history for Sweden. And that's just Sweden. And Sweden is a very wealthy country. People have a good life here for the most part. And with inflation at, I think it was 10.6% or something. It's not as bad as in the UK. I think you guys have something like 13% or something in true-inflation numbers, at least.
I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
not good.
but nevertheless, it's like when this dump happened right here, Bitcoin actually, I think we discussed it too, that some people, not all of them, but a bunch of people, just a Flippy's comment, golden goose. Yeah, that's funny. And I don't know, sorry, because it's a private business, I think. Anyway, so a lot of people, I think, if we're searching for a safe haven, and a bunch of those people, because it was kind of crypto banks, a lot of those people took the money out and bought Bitcoin with it. So that's what I think kind of started this huge pump up, because everything else followed later, pretty much.
Yeah.
So at least for me, that confirmed that Bitcoin is some kind of safe haven for bad economic policy in some ways.
Yeah, well,
at least when there's like a massive crisis, right? Anyway, yeah, sure. You want me to put your screen on?
Just flick to my chart again. So just in terms of, this is something just to look at. We're talking about Bitcoin as a safe haven or as an investment or whatever. Housing, the average house price in the UK has dropped from a peak of 293,000. It's not been that bad actually. So it's currently, but it is coming down. And this is, I know in Sweden you said it's a lot worse. That's why I was checking the UK, because I actually thought it would be worse than this. However, this is before the problems have started, and this is one of the very early markers. If you look at where the housing market peaked it was October 2007, and it was February 2009 until it fell back down, until it bottomed. So this could be we could be here sort of early 2008, and things can get a lot worse yet. But it could also take a fair bit of time to. But the longer we sit at 5% interest rates, it's you can see the this is the yearly percentage change in the UK, 3.5% currently. It's been up at 10% sort of since the pandemic, after even before we were having a big cooling off of the housing market pre-pandemic. And clearly it was a quite a good time to buy a house. It was 2019. Now we're getting to that period again where it's doing the same sort of behavior again as 2008. It's forewarning and going, look, you're raising the interest rates. These houses, the marginal buyer can no longer afford their house, because they got their mortgage affordability. They said, okay, you can borrow £150,000. Thank you. That's the absolute maximum I can buy. They buy a house with that maximum, and now they're refinancing from 2% up to 5.5%. all while their house has started to decrease in value. And that's it's a positive feedback loop, unfortunately, where there's the more this happens, the longer it happens, the more people are going to get pushed out of their homes, the more people are going to put their homes on the market. And that's so this when you see this pattern of interest rate hikes, you go, there's only one way it can go. This is this isn't a prediction, it's just a statement of fact. If you raise interest rates and sustain them at this fast and hold them this high, there's something's gonna break. We know this. So on the back of that, things are going to get bad. But when did the actual recession start, as they called it?
That's some nice TA right there.
That was my scribbles from previous weeks.
Scribbly lines.
Yeah,
I want to give some perspective while you search for what you're looking for.
It's all right, it won't take me long.
Here is a perspective of Sweden in the same sense. Down here we got the 2008. It's just it's a dump, and then we got now. It's like just but it's already turning around. But it looks to me like it's kind of topping over again, like turning like that, which is very bad if it does that, in my opinion, because then we're forming a lower low very quickly.
Indeed,
the lower high. Sorry. So we'll see what happens there, but that's the Sweden housing market.
So according to the chart on the Trading View, the recession started in January 2008. So the recession started here, basically, and look where we are, guys. Are you ready? It's we all know it's coming, and we should be prepared. And that's this is the thing with house prices could take a year, 18 months before they really bottom. And even here, when we talk about like the house prices bottoming, this is yearly change. So house prices continued to drop just at a lower rate all the way until November 2009.
Yeah,
and that's that was that's 2 years worth of house prices dropping. We're nowhere near that yet, and it's the same pressure that did it. It was excessive speculation, and now we have that speculation just in everything with more money. So the housing market in particular won't be hit as hard, but it's a good proxy for what's happening, and we should be wary of it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just say hi to some people that I saw turned in here. I saw Imre is here and Jay is here. Golden Goose is here too. Cyrus is asking for your number, Rob. Dave is here. It's good to see you, Dave, too. So yeah, we got some people here, and I think Jay said something. He says things tend to not triple. Actually, I'll show this. Things tend to not triple top, meaning if it retreats. So we're talking about the Bitcoin double top that we're kind of looking at, sort of right now. So if it retests the third time, it will,
it's likely to, but it does happen. A good example of a failed one actually is a year ago, 2022. They stick my screen up.
Yep.
Is where you had this sort of basically double top here, and then we had,
and then it tried again.
It did break up, but it was a failed breakout, and essentially acting as a triple top. He is right, definitely, but you see Bitcoin often doesn't do very exact tops, and it can get messy. It's very easy for it to get messy in its price. I would call this pretty much
a BART.
A BART, but it's essentially a sort of triple top for Bitcoin, because it does like to here was
it likes to range and create weird peaks and valleys.
Here was a price 10,200, peak there, top there. It did, and then it did break on the fourth attempt, but it that played out over basically a year, 9 months.
That's during a consolidation period, though. Like if we think about it in an uptrend perspective, it's very unlikely to see a triple top. Like
Yeah.
you know, in this major scale that we have right here during the 2021, 2022,
Oh yeah.
that's obviously double top, right? But that's over a long time frame, so that gives us, that breakdown. Um,
Here's a view that's always worth looking at, which is the 3-month view. Oh,
there we go.
I drew some lines on it,
Oh, you have TA on it.
and I do.
Yeah,
It's probably better on the monthly actually for this, but even the monthly, just something really nice and zoomed out where we can see sort of the we kind of there is a lot of room to break up, and we could range higher, similar to what we did last time.
mm-hmm.
Or what if we're still here?
Yeah,
Just it's still that pattern is still pretty much holding very well in terms of the chart structure. Is okay, we instead of we did made a higher high here and a lower high, whereas here Bitcoin to me was an anomaly in that, as in I think it was largely the recipient of the overall market last hurrah. The macro was starting to get interested in crypto and buying all kinds of nonsense, and you've got TV shows like channels like Real Vision, which was serious stuff, doing loads of crypto special look at us, everything's going to the moon things, and Bitcoin just happened to kind of make an all-time high in a bear market, because that's Bitcoin, that's just Bitcoin's things. But I kind of maintain that the true top was April, not November, in terms of the market structure anyway. And so yeah, we are still in this, we are here maybe on, and things are just slower and less extreme these days, but realistically this is still where we are. And it could range a bit lower and just be a really boring year overall. Just this isn't about as fun as it gets.
We were talking about this 2024 up in 2023 and 2024 could be as simple as it's just going to be a trader's market, which is just up and down, sideways overall. Like in the long-term perspective, it's just a sideways move, and that's fine. If you like to trade, that's fine. If you're an investor, it's like that's when it gets difficult, really, because then you're sitting there like, should I buy now? Should I not buy now? Should I sell now? If you're not a trader that's actively trading, it's going to be more difficult. I'm more of an investor than a trader, right?
Yeah.
Everybody should know that by now. And for me, seeing these, the TA is solid. What we've done so far this year has been really solid. I mean, oh gosh, what happened? There we go. I mean, look, we nailed this. We even said, like, when this candle here happened, I think it was, we said, oh, if it breaks this line, because we had a line coming down, we're gonna pump, and it did, and it started with that, and then everything just hit, right? Even this just now, and getting stuck up here for me is like, if this is the top and we want to go back down, I'm cool with that,
This is, to me, as from a trading perspective, this current area is a short opportunity, not a long opportunity. However, a break higher here, concisely above sort of 31,000, is this is time. This has got more to run. But as it stands, if you're already in a position, and say we did take profit on our position towards the top of the channel, but when that was, that'd be nice. And that was on the basis of we can probably buy it back at a similar price, and here we are still at a similar price. So it's we did. We can talk about the position we did take, because it's here.
I was gonna say, you should update everybody. So just a quick recap. So for those of you who are watching, last week, was it last week? Yeah, it was. We opened a channel for a Bitcoin trade log on the Discord, where Bob would be announcing our trade. We took a position in Bitcoin, and then we would make that trade over the course of the week or 2 weeks or whatever, how long it takes to get out of it, or refilling it with more funds. And so we've been updating that. Rob's been updating that, and we went out of it. So Rob, if you want to just recap on that, if you want, and just see how that went for everybody who missed the trade log channel.
Yeah. So basically,
I'll open your screen if you want.
Get my screen up. Yeah.
Yep. Here you go.
So basically, it was super simple. Yeah, we have the same the same lines that Phil had, and computer's got jumpy, and it was basically. Oh, hang on, no, sorry, that one.
No, that's right. That was
oh,
right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We got both. We got both.
We have one that crosses in the middle too. That's been up and down through
that one. So it was kind of all the simple idea of we have that. That was the double top. So we came down and touched this line, and we went, this is where we want to buy, because we've been talking about this line for weeks, and it hit.
Yeah, months
and
even.
Course, months. Literally months, and there it was. So we took the trade. Off it went, and it was we took a little bit off here just in case it was a bit of a fake out. It then carried on up. We took a bit more kind of here-ish, and after this top, we looked at it and went, okay, this is short term anyway. This is definitely toppy, and so we took the rest off at about 30,500 ish. So over the period of that, this was, if we go bottom to top, it was a 26% move. Now, in terms of the actual total profit of the position, we increased the total amount of dollars by about 10.8% or so, which is that's a lot less than 27%. Yes, it is. But what we sort of need to remember is nailing the absolute top and the absolute bottom is basically impossible. You might do it once or twice accidentally, but you're never going to do it properly. So if we actually think where is the most we could have taken out in terms of the logical place to buy, it would have been a breakout of here.
Yeah, that's where we actually went in. Now that I look at the dates, it was on Saturday when we opened it.
Yeah, it was here. It was this was the section that we opened it at. 20,000. No, so 25,250 was where we opened it. So we opened it there. And where's the best place to open it? Well, arguably you could say it could still be open, and that low hasn't been breached. So we may start to sort of nibble back in. Although what I did do since then, having closed the position, was I did take a position in ETH, and that was actually I can show it here if I just do this a sec. Just back.
Oh yeah, okay. You're showing it directly.
Yeah. So this is my actual Binance account. So this is literally where the trades were. You can put them in. So around here, I put in some layered trades down towards this. It's not very good. Basically, this line. Can you see it?
Barely, but we see your cursor.
So you can see it was about there. Basically, I layered orders down towards it, and 3 of them hit. 1 of them didn't, which I then manually bought here. And then you can see the sell, which was
the stop loss.
I put the stop loss a little bit below here. It was, and now there we go. It's now hit. So it's currently at pretty much the stop loss price. So it did sell. Down this wick, so it sold there, just underneath this candle close. So as it stands, it sucks, but that was just under 2% loss.
Yeah, but it's very important that people understand too that like trading, if you can hit 70% of your trades successfully, you're a very good trader, pretty much. Like, and even if we're very good or exceptional, we're not gonna do a perfect trade every time. Nobody can do that.
No. And
So
regardless,
yeah,
is you can see that we have it's not things. This don't look so bearish, so bullish. It's
no,
broken down. It's broken down. So, is this currently a position that we want to be in? Yeah, not so much. I took a position for the same reason that we took the Bitcoin one. It was at the bottom of the range. Now, we were hoping it would have followed through and given us some.
Yeah, because what happened was that Bitcoin got stuck on that resistance line basically, and it didn't break down through it right away, but it did get stuck on it, which means that when Bitcoin gets stuck, everything else kind of dumps.
Yeah,
and it's been doing that for a long time because we are in Bitcoin season, and the dominance on Bitcoin is going up, right? So
yeah. Now here's nice fun one. We can go through sort of this previous analysis where if some people may remember, it was here that about the here where I this sort of circle where I took the position. This nice yellow circle orange circle is obviously where I should have sold, and then me going, okay, having crawled a lot up here, it's either going to break down or it's going to break up. We saw it. Oh, of course, it happened to do both. So I was right twice. It broke up, double topped, and then broke down hard. And now it's all the way back down at the bottom of the range. It has broken the previous low. And so, the downtrend continues, which is now coming. This is a 10-month downtrend versus Bitcoin, essentially now. And it's not looking pretty. This ETH is holding up well, but it's not holding up. Compared to sort of Bitcoin, it's bleeding out slowly, and we're currently sort of coming up to what would be considered a nice trade point. So we are thinking of getting back in to this, but I want to see it touch down at the bottom on the BTC chart, given where it's at, or start to show it's put in a bottom. And see what happens.
Yeah, and I'll admit too that I actually also took a position on ETH BTC actually, and I could show that just for the sake of. So look, I want to be in Bitcoin and in ETH, right? If they lose value and gain value against each other during a period, then okay, great, So what I did was I took a position with a grid bot on Pionex, which is my personal choice of exchange, just because it's just so simple to use the grid bots if you want to do that type of stuff. It gives you a little bit more secure, at least on trading pairs, in my opinion, to be able to kind of hold two assets as they are both going up, and then letting the bot kind of trade between the two assets as the price of both of them are going up or down to accumulate more. And so sometimes I take these type of positions. So I actually put in a fairly significant amount of Bitcoin into this the other day. And so what I did was I saw this bottoming happening here. And it's not in the range, like at the bottom of the range, which would be kind of.
If we just look right in the middle of that picture, you can see this could drop. This will continue to drop all the way down to that bottom.
Exactly. No, and so for me, it doesn't really matter. And this is ETH denominated in Bitcoin, right? So it's this range. So I started it right here on this bottom because it was close to this and it looked like it was kind of going to stop there and go up. So I spent Bitcoin to buy ETH, right? And this is for, more experienced people would know about this already, but I'm assuming not everybody knows this. So I took the position here. I started the bot and I put some grids in, and this is what it looks like. I didn't go all the way down with the grids, but essentially when the price goes down, it's going to spend more of my Bitcoin to buy more Ethereum on the way down, right? Which is not horrible, but then when it turns, it's going to start selling off that Ethereum to buy more Bitcoin. And during that period, it's going to make small trades between all these grids here, and it's going to give me more Bitcoin and more ETH essentially, as the price of that might be going up. Like even if Bitcoin and ETH are going up, let's say 5% every day, let's say, right? Let's say ETH one day goes up 5%, Bitcoin goes up 4%. Then that means ETH is going to gain value against Bitcoin, and it's going to move up on this chart here. And then the next day, Bitcoin goes up 5 and ETH goes up 4. Then they kind of come back down again like that. So it just trades through these grids, right? And that's why you get this stuff where you get basically free Bitcoin, at least somewhat free Bitcoin. And so I took this position just to have something. Yeah. So I just took this position.
So just to be clear, doing this, if everybody does this, this is how coins get stuck in ranges forever. So you can thank Phil for your Ethereum not going up.
Well, you know, if there is a tool, then you use the tool, right?
And Phil is the tool. Exactly.
I don't really run these very long, and it's not with that much. I think it's like 0.08 Bitcoin, right? It's not a huge amount.
Not that much.
So yeah, it's not like it's gonna make a difference in the market. Like the market could swallow my 0.808 Bitcoin. Come on. Either way, so yeah, I'm doing this. This is a position I took. If you're kind of interested in learning about how that works, just let me know and I'll talk to you in the Discord or something. But yeah, it was just a fun little position. So, but yeah, damn. I don't know. Let's hope.
So far, it's still bullish. Like it's not dropped below that trend line. It can trade sideways for a while yet and be just choppy for a few days. Altcoins are they going to kind of be allowed to run a bit more? Maybe just take a quick.
Oh, your microphone is going away from your face, Rob.
Hello, better?
Yeah, not really.
No.
Oh, now it's better.
Okay.
You're lagging just a little bit, but I think what we're seeing right now.
I would say just stick
my chart on a
second.
Of the trend. Yeah, I'm just saying continuation of the trend currently. Like there's not much to change, but this trend line right here will kind of determine if we're going to go, if it's going to bounce or if it's going to break it. If it breaks, it's going down. If it's bouncing here, it's going to go maybe all the way up here. We'll see. No promises. But yeah, I'll put your chart up, and then we need to start rounding off.
Yeah, so Bitcoin dominance chart, which we've seen, we know, and still got these sort of same upper targets. You can see, although sort of altcoins have had a bit of a, some of them had a bit of a move the last sort of few days. Altcoin dominance hasn't gained in any way. It's, Bitcoin is still holding up as the market leader and saying you really don't want to be in anything else right now. And so it's still business as usual. When the Bitcoin dominance chart looks like the Bitcoin price chart, then that's a sign that if you're holding altcoins, you are severely missing out. You probably you are just sitting here getting wrecked through stubbornness at this point. If you're DCA in alts, riskier. It's a lot more stressful. I guarantee it. I can promise you, because I've done it. I've made all the mistakes, but can pay off bigly. I mean, I am looking at some. I've got a lot of shit coins, and some of them are going to be big. Some of them, things like Aptos, nobody knows where it's going to go because it's never had a bull market. But one thing that I did mention. Maybe I don't know if we talked about it on the channel because it was way back, but how these coins have a tendency to drop stupid amounts, and it's had 270% corrections already. So if you can DCA, then do it. That's fine. You're not going to catch the bottom, but accept that a lot of these rallies will be false rallies, and they'll pull up. And this may have been the bottom. You might have had to $3, and now it's at $6. So you missed 100% rally in that case. And if you can pick up the bottom and you're something that you believe in fundamentally, I know Golden Goose saying investors are boring, but then you can pick up some real gems. But do be aware of the volatility. That even good stuff, Atom, we've talked about it and its ranging ability versus Bitcoin, but it's been shite for a year and a half. But it hasn't, it bottomed in June 2022. It's now a year later. Okay, yeah, but again, it's still kind of nearly 100% up. So the good alts will now start to show themselves, even though this might still look like shit and they might still be underperforming versus Bitcoin. You'll see, some sort of really bad ones, things like Flow, where good coin, good project, and at this sort of price, I'm now quite interested. The ICO was 10 cents, and some people at ICO paid 27 cents, only 2x higher than it is now. And at some point, this will bottom. It's just now very, very cheap compared to what it was. It's been up at $40. It's 99% down. These within here are the Cardanos of the last cycle, and don't forget about them. And this is the time to sort of be doing the research. Bitcoin is still sort of showing I'm in charge. Wait for that to change. You don't have to catch the bottom, because even if you might catch a few alts, if you spread yourself too thin, then you'll end up losing in the market just through averages. And if you pick an absolute gem, then cool, have that allocation for something if you think it's amazing. But beware, but wherever you're riding the volatility, and don't go buying highs, buy bottoms, buy these drops.
Don't get married to your coin, right?
Yeah, Phil knows.
Cough, cough, that. XRP. So no, but it's so what I wanted to say with the whole Bitcoin trade that I made with Bitcoin ETH is that when Bitcoin dominance is going up, think about imagine sitting in Bitcoin only at that point, and all the alts are dropping value against Bitcoin, and you're just sitting there buying more Bitcoin, and then suddenly things turn around and everything is super cheap against Bitcoin. Why not use the Bitcoin you have to then buy the other alts? That's what I'm thinking about doing.
Well, we can see it. You can see on this chart is the kind of how badly everything is still doing against Bitcoin.
Yep.
And you can scroll through them, and it's just a bloodbath across the board. And this BNB finally has fallen off a cliff. Like, look what once it comes down to here, if it loses these levels, it's back down to this trend line, which we've seen. This is just the same thing. I've pointed it out here, 67% drop. That's to come down to that trend line would be a 54% drop. 50-ish% drop. Very real reasonable
possibility.
Yeah.
Yep.
And CRO coming down to approaching its all-time low level. Oh, look where we drawn. It's like this isn't genius. This is just sheer intuition, because I was here 4 years ago. I've seen this happen, and it's not going to stop. And this is the fate for 99% of alts. And the ones that have been around the last cycle, yes, some of them will grow, and if you have faith in them, they're going to do well. They're still going to underperform the nice new shiny toys. And me and Phil, we've been speaking with Golden Goose, saying my personal plan is anything on Binance once the sort of Bitcoin dominance looks like it's starting to top out, and if we do get a big collapse and it looks like the party's starting again, I'm going on Binance and buying every single coin that has the word AI in its description, because they're going to go up. And it's but as things stand, this ain't Chainlink. Like, rest in peace, Chainlink fans. It's been so long. This is a good project, but it went from its
great
bottom,
project even.
It's a great project, but from its bottom to its top was 976 days. So you're talking just under 3 years, and since then it has spent 1,046 days in a downtrend.
Yeah.
versus
I mean,
Bitcoin. That
I'd
is
like to add something.
3 years in a downtrend against Bitcoin.
I'd like to add something here with in regards to Chainlink. Like, there is no real use case for Chainlink for retail, right? It's almost entirely used by the people that need it, and retail don't need it. And this is why we always talk about utility with things. If they don't have a utility or real use case for anything, there's no real reason for it for a prolonged, for a prolonged buying pressure from retail or from people at all. That's why smart contract platforms are so good usually. At least the good ones are. And keep that in mind, like when you're researching stuff. Like, do people actually need this for something? And if they don't, then why would you buy it?
So
that's the way I think about stuff. As an
I
investor,
can give an example of this. So just first, here's another one. Matic down from that peak is now down 60, close to 70% versus Bitcoin. So one sort of way of doing that, you're talking about sort of the DeFi protocols or the smart contract platforms and where finding the value within the next cycle is you can sort of look for the market leaders and look at the stuff. So like Matic is, yes, it's down horrendously versus Bitcoin, but if you look at its I'll just do the Matic dominance, then yeah, it still looks bad in terms of it's gone from 1.26 to 0.5%. It's lost 70% of its dominance, but it's still, it's done this for a while. It trades sideways and it's moving up. You want to see if is it gaining dominance relative, is it losing dominance relative to Bitcoin? Is a way that you can look at it. Is like, if you look at it at the whole market cap rather than just the coin, because Matic's market cap is actually, if you look at the actual price of the coin on its own, it's not doing badly. It's only, in terms of market cap, it's down. It's down 71%, but compare it to say flow that we looked at, which is down 99%.
99 is more than 70. Just 99
so 99 is, if this was to go from here to 99%, it would have to drop a further 97%.
Yeah.
That's 99% is a 90% drop, 97% drop after a 70% drop. So
that's worse.
Yes, that's a lot worse. And so this is a platform. So it's just to bear in mind when I'm talking about market cap, it's useful because when you're looking very long term for some of these altcoins, they do have token issuances and releases and unlocks during this time. Solana is a good example of one. You see where it had big unlock right here. This unlock was actually the exact reason I didn't buy Solana at very, very cheap prices, because I thought, it's going to dump. It just so happened that it unlocked right into the breakout of everything, and instead the buy pressure just completely went silly.
Yeah, but like, and as well, like we talked about the whole utility thing. People actually use Solana, right?
Yeah.
For example, and there's a huge, I don't want to call it a fan base, but it's a huge community of people that use a lot of the.
Hang on. If you like the project, it's a community. If you don't like the project, it's a cult. Those are the two definitions, by the way.
Right.
Just to be clear.
Sure. No, but either way, it seems like Golden Goose ate noodles and now his face is hanging off of his skull. Congratulations. I guess they were spicy.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, we need to start rounding off. Actually,
we do need to wrap up.
Yes. And yeah, we'll see where we go. TA looks the same as it always has. I just wanted to pop over to the weekly and say that on the weekly, the super trend is not something that I usually use that much, but the weekly is still very much, it's a far way to go to break the weekly, uptrend from the super trend, and that usually on the weekly, it's very long term when it happens. Sometimes it's not because we had a double top here, but usually the trends are pretty long. We might see something like this happen, but this means that if the price stops here, I believe that the weekly super trend would end up somewhere around here, which is in the middle of nowhere, except for it being topped by this one. So, but yes, we need to end this.
Indeed.
So we'll see.
So,
We'll see. I mean, you guys know the deal. Like, subscribe,
Mhm.
send this to everybody you've ever
all
known.
of that.
Call
all
up your
of
old kindergarten teacher, tell them to watch this thing.
Yep.
And all these things. So yes, but we'll see you next time. I'm gonna jump into Discord for a while before I gotta go. So if you guys want to hang out, just hop in, right? And yeah, that's it. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.